Hey, everybody.
Hey, hello.
Thank
Hey,
you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It is time. It's time for Having Fun with J and J.
Mm-hmm.
And as usual, we always have really amazing and wonderful people with a creative spirit showing up at our doorstep and just being on our show, agreeing to be on our show. And we're so grateful that they find us and that we find them. Today, we have a treat for you. We have a gentleman from Michigan, right, Jay? He's a songwriter, he's a producer, creates videos. He's got a church, it's called, I think, Church House Productions is the name of your production. Is that right?
right.
And he does a lot of different things with different media, music, plays music. And so we are very excited to have him. And at this point, this is Jeanette. Jeanette, she's honed on this stuff. I'm still learning.
Oh wow, we've been at it 3 years now, and I'm still doing it.
Well, I started off, and Jeanette kind of gets it rocking, and then we let our guest let loose. So without further ado, I want to get as much time with him as we can. Jeanette, hit it.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Jeanette from the other part of Having Fun with J and J. And this is my beautiful partner, Jenny. And we are here with a special guest called Dre Hill. And Dre, we found you through one of our other sponsors on here, and his name is Born Again. If all of you who see it on our channel, he's always thinking it's a feel-good song,
Yeah.
and I love that song. And then we just found out something interesting. So what is it that what did you do on that song?
Yeah. So I actually, my wife and I, we went to his hometown and we actually filmed the video for him. And so,
Wow.
yeah, so it was fun. I had met Anthony maybe about a year before. We had did a music concert together, and so we just kind of kept in touch, and he saw what I was doing with the other music and stuff. So we talked one day, and he said he'd like for us to come up, and we did. We had a great time, and
That's wonderful.
people liked the video. So
And Anthony can be found. Anthony can be found on the Creative Spirit channel.
Yes.
So you can see what both Dre did and what Anthony did. So that's very cool.
So my next question is, tell us about yourself and what is the name of your company and what do you do and how did you go get started?
okay, so I actually, well, the name of the company is called Church House Productions. But I actually started in music when I was a kid, and the person that inspired me, well, the group that inspired me, and it's probably going to tell how old I am.
That's okay. We don't judge.
The Jackson did the song ABC. When I saw that, I was like, "This is what I'm supposed to be doing." So from that point on, music had me. But before then, my mom, she is an artist, and so she kind of got me started in creating. Because she would paint, and then I would ask her to paint something, and she would say, "No, you do it." So that's how I started, and one thing went to another, and so here we are now, a lot of years later, doing music and doing film, and I'm excited. I'm happy about what I'm doing, and I'm just looking forward to opening wherever the Lord opens doors.
Okay. So what is it? So what kind of music do you play? I mean, go ahead and give the audience what kind of music do you play?
Okay, so I play gospel music or contemporary gospel, but I have styles. So I have a song that's a rap song. I have songs that are jazz flavored.
Ah, so you're
So
eclectic. You like a little bit of everything.
yeah, yeah, because I grew up on everything. My
Nice.
dad, yeah, my dad, blues, is a blues. Is a Motown person, and
Mm-hmm.
I came up with my own, flavor, and it just kind of all blended together. But now it's just dedicated to using it for God, for
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's
Well, so
good.
so Dre, when you on your projects, um, how do you pick them, or do they pick you? Like the things that you've done, do they just come up and like, okay, this works, or how does that process work for you?
so well, I have a fresher mind with the Rapture Chronicles. Um, the idea actually came to me. The Lord brought it to me, and I I am a person that I have to make sure that I'm doing what God has put me to do, told me to do. So I was actually withdrawing from it, because okay, this is too big, I don't have this and I don't have that, and the Lord kept dealing with me, just saying, just trust me, take the step, and once you take the step, then the way will be made. And so I did the first one. It was all God, how He brought the people together. Some of Two of them, well, really all of them, I didn't know any of them, at the beginning, but they all came together, and we did our first episode, and it's been viewed um, like over 210,000 times on Facebook that we know. So, and from that point on, each episode comes, the Lord just brings it to me, and I just start writing down. I think that's one of the things that I love to do is to write, because um, as a, I would say, maybe this is going sideways a little bit, but as a kid, um, I was teased because I was shorter than everybody else. So
Welcome to the club. I'm just
We're
saying.
all short. You don't look that short, but
I know you don't look short.
And so it made me feel insecure about talking, but but I was able to write my thoughts and things. So I think that helped develop, the stories and things like that. And then um, growing up as a kid, the movies or I'm sorry, the TV series that were like Lost in Space. I mean those type of movies or series, they inspired me, also. So I think it's just a piece of different things and different times of my life that has brought me to where I am now.
To your final destination. So where do you get the people? I mean, I'm sure I haven't seen them. So you're saying that they're on YouTube already?
Yeah.
Are they on YouTube? Okay,
Yeah.
so that's probably something I need to look for. Do you? What is the title of it?
Okay. So the title of the episode is called the Rapture Chronicles.
Oh, okay, okay.
So
And so what is it about? Like what I know what the rapture means, but
okay.
what is it that you have different series about?
Okay. So what I took is um, a person's life.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I see. Yeah. So a person's. I tried to first of all deal with a subject. So like the very first one that we dealt with was church hurt. You've heard that a lot. People getting hurt in church, and so they walked away. From church. And so this story was based on three young ladies. One grew up in church and she got hurt. One, they were friends, and then the other girl, she was like the wild one,
Mm-hmm.
and as
We
time
all
went,
got the wild one.
time went on, the role changed. And so they together
That's
for
that's Laverne. Sorry, Dre. That's Laverne.
Mm-hmm.
It's Jeanette's pup. Someone must be at the door.
Yeah.
okay,
I know. He was like, "Is your dog barking?" Sorry,
don't have
sorry.
dog.
Go ahead. You stopped at the problem child. That would be me too. But,
Mm.
And so the person that was a Christian, because she was hurt, she walked away, and then the person that was the worst person, she came to the Lord, and so they began to talk about um, the rapture, how it could happen, and so they didn't get into an argument, but one person was the wild child, I would call her. She was trying to tell her, well, Jesus is coming, and then the other person was like, no, I don't believe it anymore. So as they're driving, the rapture actually takes place. So the person that is Christian now, she disappears, and then the one that is not the Christian, she now realizes, oh man, it happened. So each story deals with a subject. One is dealing with unforgiveness, dealing with guilt. So right now we have 11 episodes
well,
that we've done, and it's also streaming. It's streaming on what do you call that? Fossum, and also on Relay. So and it's exciting. I was able to also, because I'm a musician, I would say first, I was able to look at the scenes and be able to come up with music that would enhance the scene. So
Oh,
if you
wow. That's
there,
nice. So you
so
came up with the music to
yeah,
fit what the situation was at that time in the part of the movie.
yes, that's
Oh,
correct.
that's wonderful. And who are your actors? Are they random? Do you audition for them, or how does that come about?
Okay, so with our very first, well, with all of them, so I do have a few that they are on a few episodes. But how I met them is we just put something out on Facebook saying that we're getting ready to shoot a film, and gave them a little bit what it was about, and if they would be willing to volunteer their services, and so they did, and so that's how we've been doing it. There's been people that has come as far as Indiana to Detroit, different parts of
Wow.
Ohio from Detroit, and I mean to Detroit to be a part of it. So we, you know,
So are you like self-funded? Like, do you pay for everything yourself?
so so yeah, so
Wow.
us with what we need, and then again, people they feel that they're doing something for to continue to get the work, so they volunteer, and so just us working together like that, we the Lord has just opened up um, there's so many doors, and so it's a step by step. When we got a new episode that we're going to start working on, and we don't have we don't have a source of money. We just say, okay, Lord, this is what you want, so we're going to make the first step, and then you provide the next thing, and so that's how we've been doing every episode, and it's just amazing to me how they unfold. So
Okay.
definitely would.
offer this to different congregations to do a viewing or a screening.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. I'm sorry.
I said, have you gone to different churches or congregations and offered to do screening of it
Yeah,
to support it?
yes. As a matter of fact, we on our last episode that we did, we actually started what's called the Rapture Chronicles live experience. And so what we have done is we search for churches that would be willing to have us to come in and present it. And we also have musical guests that to open up, and then we'll show the movie, and then afterwards, then we'll have 10 self-evaluating questions that we ask, based on the movie. Which character do they see themselves as? The one that made the rapture, the one that missed the rapture? And then, so we try to get them to relate to what they just saw. And then the last question that we ask is, we ask them to score what, the 10 questions, what was their score? And if it's at a certain point, then the last question that we ask, is there anything that can be done before you leave here tonight to make your requests, your results better, so that you'll be rapture ready. It's not just something that
Like
you
an
just.
altar call. Like an altar call. Okay.
So we've been doing that lately, and so that helps. And so we're just, we are continuing to ask the Lord to open up doors, for that too. And then also this T-shirt, we just started this, and so this is a way for us to be able to reach people on the street. We have right here on the side, we have a QR code, and it takes anybody that scans it to all of the episodes on YouTube, so that they can take a look at it. And
I'm going to step back a little bit because I might have missed it because I was listening to the other part of it, what you're saying. But
yeah, so
you started off just as a musician.
Yep. Started off as, well, really as just an artist, and then poetry, and then from there, then music, So, but yeah, that's what I started off as.
Because just from a production point of view, what he just did is extremely difficult. I don't know, because people, everybody's making their videos and stuff like that, and their little 15 seconds of content. But to create an ensemble cast, to create the script, to shoot it, to provide the score, and to do it on a shoestring, and we know about that.
Yeah, we sure do.
That,
we sure do.
Sometimes I say, God, but it is a very daunting task, and to do 11 episodes, and to create this entire project is really amazing. And my hat's off.
I'd like to have one of those videos on our TV. I want to have one of your featured, like you pick the best one that you want. It could be number 1, 5, I don't care. And I would love to put it on a Sunday and put it on there. And then, me and you maybe can go live and go, hey, and do your questions on live TV. That would be kind of cool. How long are the movies?
So the longest one that we have is 45 minutes. But now the shortest ones that we have, my wife and I, we had recorded those right in the middle of COVID. So we couldn't do a whole thing. So that was like minutes or something like that. We try to make it impactful. So the shortest ones are like 2 minutes, 3 minutes long, and then it's 45 minutes.
So you developed it as COVID went along. You found an opportunity and you did it 2 minutes, but it's basically, it's not the long quantity or the length, because we're always building something and we always say we got to do it so many, but it really isn't. As long as it gets that point across, that's what matters. If you got to get it there in 2 minutes or you got to get it there in 45 minutes, you're still getting the main point across. So that's the objective, is getting that message. What is the message of this video that we're showing? And I think that's one thing we have to keep in mind, that it's not about how long it is, but is what are you trying to put across?
Right.
So when you look at your movies, and do you ever sit back and look at them and say, okay, I could have done this better, or I could have done this?
Yes. Yep. Yep. I definitely do that. And then my wife, she also helps, with that. And um, I just I give God all the glory, because if it was up to me, I wouldn't have done any of it. I just would have stayed in the music, because that's where I felt comfortable. That's where I felt like that's where I should be. But the doors opened, um, and I just began to walk through by faith. I've heard for many years of walking by faith, but to actually do it is
Mm-hmm.
something totally different.
Different.
And so,
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a character evaluation, and how, it. I don't know if it's any easier if someone gives you $10 million and you say okay, because sometimes you don't really respect that $10 million, and it gets wasted and things aren't really prioritized. But when you're going by faith and you're going by, literally what you got going, you tend to be a little bit more careful, and
mm-hmm,
you tend to try to want to get, as Jeanette said, to the point,
Mm-hmm.
uh, with the least amount that you can do. And I'm looking at it from the business standpoint. Jeanette always looks at it from the other end of it, but it really is amazing. And I'm just thinking pay-per-view. I don't know why that kicked in my mind. So that because you're raising funds to keep this going. It's not necessarily, making a ton of money off of it. Not that it wouldn't be good, but something where this could be presented at a church, at a pay-per-view event.
mm-hmm.
They pay $1.99 for it or whatever, and it's streamed. And because this could be a really ginormous event.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm seeing stage production, and I'm seeing all kinds of different things. And there are churches.
And she does that. You're gonna have to forgive her, because right here on the show, she's able to give you a whole future of how you can do things, and that's just how she rolls. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her brain going 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So Get ready, sit back, and you should have a pen and paper ready, because that's who she is. And I have to sometimes just stay back, and I'm looking at her, because she tends to do that. But they're good ideas, though. It's like, let her flow, because as she said something that I was thinking, and I'm like, man, pay-per-view, he could, wow, and I'm like,
some of these we have Cornerstone Church down the street, and Texas has the big churches, and you go down the street on Sunday trying to get in, and you can't, because there's 5,000 people. They're huge. And they love these kinds of events and opportunities, and as much as the little churches do too. But I just see it as, I'd rather see this than some of the stuff that goes on that's not really.
Yeah.
I don't want to get, but that I'm not really getting anything from it. Do you know what I mean? Like the person that runs the churches or whatever. I'd like to see this go, because I think it's something that you're creating from your heart, and it can help people. And Jeanette and I are always about helping people. But you got to get yourself out there, and that's the hardest part.
What is it that you want to see yourself like? What is it that? What is your goal doing this? And what is your main goal? Like me and Jenny have our main goal. We always say when this happens, it's time to like sit back and relax. What is your goal on where you want these movies to go? Like what is your hope in doing this?
So my end game, I would say, is I want to be able to put together and I have the plans for it, but it just hasn't, developed as of yet. But I would like to have a school that would teach young people the all parts of the film industry or the music industry, or whatever part that they want to do. And as we go out to film, so we would have a class, maybe like if they wanted to know about cameras, or they're interested in camera work, then we have a class for that goes for so many weeks. And then when we actually go out and shoot a film, then we can have them learn, as on hands, hands on, and cause them to be able to develop themselves so that they can, continue to go out and do it. That's the I want to be able to recycle everything I've learned, through the younger generation. But I want to. The other thing is, I want to keep putting out whatever the Lord put in my heart. I thought that when I first started, it would just be one, but then Lord opened up the door for the next one, the next one, the next one, and so right now we have 6 more that's in the can. And again, I don't know how I'm trying not to figure out how it's going to be done. I just know that when we take that step, the Lord is going to send the right actors. He's going to send the right props, and that's how it's been. And so I just want to keep working. And
Have you talked to the Detroit is having kind of a resurgence. People are starting to buy property. You can still get some good deals, but I want to say there's at least 30, 40 churches in the city. Am I right? That could be done as a joint venture. Mm-hmm. Maybe go to the church that's not necessarily the biggest, but they all have places, rooms, meeting rooms. And I think if you did this as a city thing, as part of a rejuvenation, because there's so many kids that need,
yes, they need to know.
We talk a lot about this because the big thing is always about going to college. You got to do this, that. And I think a lot of kids get they don't want to go to college. They want to do other stuff. And this would give them.
We lost him.
We lost Jay.
Yeah, he'll be back. Go ahead.
Jay is in Michigan. What I'm thinking of is it would be a really great opportunity for the congregations in the area to get together and to back something like this, where the kids don't have to. They don't want to go to college. That's great, but get them into something that they can find an interest in, and they all love, use their phones, take pictures, do the whole social media thing. Right. And if we build this, I'm thinking, they got to build the website, they got a place to meet, they've got people that come in to teach.
Right.
That would be an amazing thing.
Yeah, it would. He probably had some technical difficulties. I saw him freezing up a bit, but that's okay. Yeah, we're gonna go right now to commercial. Hopefully he'll come back after we hit the commercials. So stay tuned for more of Dre, and we'll be right back after these commercials.
Stars are shining, ooh yeah. Feel the beat, feel the glow, lost in your eyes, never letting go, letting go. Hearts together in the night, hold me close, keep me tight, floating high in the sky, just you and I, you and I. Eternal love, oh, eternal love, oh, eternal love, oh, eternal love, oh.
In a world of mass production and fast trends, some things still deserve to be made the right way, by hand, with heart, and with a story that lasts a lifetime. At Beaver's Workshop, every handcrafted pen, gift, and decor piece carries the soul of craftsmanship, forged from the finest local and exotic woods, shaped with care, and polished with pride. Founded by Jeffrey Beaver, a proud retired combat army veteran, Beaver's Workshop honors tradition, service, and creativity. Every curve, every grain, every finish tells a story of resilience, of dedication, of craftsmanship born from a life of purpose. Whether you're searching for a timeless gift, a symbol of gratitude, or a keepsake that feels as meaningful as the moment itself, Beaver's Workshop is where memories are handcrafted. Our pens don't just write, they speak volumes. Our gifts don't just decorate, they inspire. And our craftsmanship? It doesn't just show, it lives on. Shop small. Choose heart over hurry. Celebrate American craftsmanship with a piece made just for you, at Beaver's Workshop. Find us online or at artisan events near you, and experience the pride, the passion, and the story behind every treasure. Handcrafted with honor.
Art that isn't painted, it's threaded. Discover the beauty of needle thread artistry by David Point. Each piece takes hours, each stitch a brushstroke of patience and passion. With just a needle and thread, David Point brings life to landscapes and animals, each stitch capturing light, texture, and soul. From majestic wildlife to breathtaking views, David Point weaves nature into art. Bring the beauty of nature home through the artistry of David Point, needle thread artist.
There he is.
Thank you for we're back from the commercials, and of course we have him back. He said wonderful things. So now we're going to continue with our question, which is Gray Hill, and he is a filmmaker, and we were asking a whole bunch of questions because he has the Left Behind Chronicles, and he's telling us about the challenges that it is and what he has to do to be able to produce one of this. If you was to put a round number on the production that you have to do, what would be that round number of money that you would have to come up with to do a film? And you would say the donations, like you take donations and things like that. What would be that round number that would be your perfect day? If it was that perfect day that God said, okay, here, boom, what would be that number? Uh-oh, we can't hear you. We're having technical difficulties. It's not my end. It's his phone. Click on your phone and put the speaker on. Click again. Try it. Now talk. No, we cannot hear him. You know, and that's what I love about our show. It's realistic. We've had bloopers on here. We've had falling down. We have technical difficulties. Things happen. But it's real life. Nothing is perfect. You see a perfect programming. That was a lot of rehearsal. How about now, Mr. Hill? Can you talk and see? Nope. It could be that is something on his.
Dre, go back off and come back on.
Yeah, go back off and come back on. And it'll be right back. Things happen. That's just the way we roll, right? But you know, one thing I love about him is his determination. Nothing stopped him, even the difficulty that he had. But what I love most is not giving up, the perseverance of being able to say, hey, you know what? I'm not giving up. Somehow, some way, God is gonna give me the opportunity to do what I have to do to make these films happen. You know? And then he's a musician and artist. How many of us started with something and then all of us changed to something else?
We've talked about that before. You know, it's not, we usually start off with one thing and then it takes us to the next level, the next level, the next level. We very rarely creators stay with the same genre. We just stuff, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. So we start off, like, I remember I started with paintings. I sold 300 paintings and I started with painting and painting and painting, and I sold it, and I thought that was going to be my eureka moment. Well, no. And then after painting, I had my art gallery show, and then after that I started doing bottles, like decorating the bottles and painting the bottles. And that became something, and people were buying them, and I was like, okay, cool. You know, I like the bottles. And then that became something else where I started doing resin. And I'm like, what's this? And I got curious, what's this? And then all of a sudden I started making clocks. So out of the clocks, now that became a trademark, and I became the clock lady, and I'm happy about it. So here I am now doing this. But who would have known that in the midst of all of that, Jenny would come and say, hey, let's have a show.
Well, I wanted to just sell my books. I was just looking to sell my books. And there it is. So you never know where it's going to take you. And now I do all digital stuff. So.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yay!
Applause, Jeanette, from the show.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. You're on. Okay.
So what I was saying, Dre, while you were gone, was that I'd like to see people really embrace kids not actually technically having to go to college, but at least get some idea of what they want to do and do some stuff that they, you know, kids want to do stuff. They don't necessarily want to sit and listen. You know, they like to get involved. And to get a school like that going in the city of Detroit, I think I would love to see the churches get together and make that a reality for them to go and to get some exposure other than, you know, standing in line at Starbucks, taking pictures of, you know, selfies with people. Right. And that you could introduce them to writing, to music, you know, acting, doing behind the scenes, lighting, everything, you know?
Yeah. And we learned as we went. So looking at the first episode to the last episode, I can see the things
The
that we've.
growth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
I love RC. I always do that too. I watch our first video and then I watch our videos now and I'm like, wow, have we grown? So
Right.
and that's how growth happens. It doesn't happen overnight. It
Right.
takes time so you can enjoy the moment, because if you don't enjoy the moment, then what's the use of it, right?
Right. That's
And what
good.
I love about you is the fact that you let God give you the inspiration to be able to come up. He gives you the ideas and then you tell him, okay, well, if you want me to do it, you need to supply the needs that I need. You know what he says, knock, open the door, ask, and you shall receive, right? So we have to, stand on faith. And that's what you're doing pretty much. You're going on faith on that everything will be supplied to you so you can make these movies happen. Again, I know that you said
Get
where you wanted to go,
cut out
but are you looking at to
or drop.
be, yeah, are you looking to be on the movies? Oh, I think he's frozen again.
Oh,
It's just
there you go.
And did you hear me, Mr. Hill? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Lost him again.
And it happens. It happens. We have technical difficulty with people, and that's why it's so important to have the correct equipment, because if you don't, even we have bad days.
She was actually freezing a couple minutes ago before we started, and then she had to shift stuff. And I refuse to change my internet stuff because I'm afraid.
Okay. So
You're having technical difficulty today, huh?
yeah, this is.
It is. Yeah.
You know what I always say is the devil trying not to get the message out there. That's what I say.
Yeah.
But we're gonna rebuke him in the name of Jesus. All right, let's go. Keep on.
All right.
Tell me where you want to go.
Okay. I think the last question was the
You want to see movies?
yeah. So the two of the episodes we actually have. One of the episodes we have an airplane, and so we would definitely need somebody to either donate that. I mean, or so, and then another one we have a few police cars, and so we would need something for that. But the one that we are dealing with now, at least that we're getting ready to deal with now, I want to be able to grow to a point where we can actually take care of the actors too, because again, they're donating their time and their effort, and even though the Lord is opening up doors, we still would like to be able to pay them, for.
You also need to check with the guild, because a lot of times there's a lot of actors, they want to get in the guild, but they need to be able to have done something, put on a resume. And a lot of the actors are looking for, they're looking for parts. They may not pay, but they can get their name there so that they can get credit for it, so that they can join the guild and be part of the Actors Guild.
Yeah.
So
I never thought about that.
those people out too, and that helps just because they my niece is an actress, and I know she's done a couple of things. So sometimes just putting it out, and where he would be good to go to would be Tony's website, because Tony has musicians and actors and people that are on his platform that are looking either to do work or might have connections. I would do it. So it's all about networking.
Yes, it is. It is.
And we'll do our part whenever we see somebody that's got something going on, to give you a call. So can they reach you through your website? Is that the best place to reach you?
Yes. So my email address is probably the best way, because then that way I don't have to be on the phone. I could I always look at that. So
Hold
would you
on.
like?
What is your email address?
Okay, so it's I'll have to spell it for you. It's a little tricky. It's
Okay. C.
CHUR
Uh-huh.
CHURCHOUSE, and then that's PRODUCTIONS 22 at gmail.com. So it should say Church House Productions 22 at gmail.com.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
So now we do what we have offered is we are part of the International Movie Database. So we do offer credits, on there, but again, we want to be at a point where we can,
Understood.
yeah,
Yep.
do.
Yep. But we have to figure out a way, or if we have anybody out there that's watching, or has any connections with, I'm sure you're looking for places to film. I'm sure you're looking
Hmm?
for locations. You're looking for props. You're looking for backgrounds.
Yeah.
And again, the city of Detroit, it would be a great asset to them to be able to help you with that. They've got venues and places that would be, willing to either donate the time or let you have access to be able to do something like this, especially if you want to start the school and get the kids involved, because that's,
Kids will do it for free in a big heartbeat.
yeah.
Do you have a kid production out there, like a movie with kids dealing with the rapture?
Okay, so I don't have anything like that. I tried to stick with relative like adult issues, so because that's something that they could. I think it's easier to accept. Maybe a child, they would have to, maybe go through that, or talk with somebody to get that understanding um,
Right.
of what it's about. But there are children that have come to the live experiences, and there's one young lady. She went. I think she's maybe about 10, and she came, and her grandmother told me that she goes online and she watches all of the episodes. So
Oh,
so that's an influence, a positive influence, on her. And I think one the goal, well, not the goal, but one of the biggest rewards for me, um, there was we do get responses from people that watch the episode, but there was one lady from Nigeria, and she couldn't, she typed out everything, but it wasn't complete English. But she said, brother, I was going wrong way. After watching your movie, I'm going the right way. And to me, that just touched my heart. It's
You
like,
only needs one to you remember, you only need one to give you that motivation to say, okay, what I'm doing is right. And
right,
remember, the Lord says one at a time. Our commission is to bring people to the Lord, but it's one at a time, and it's His time, not our time. He's the one that saves. We just push the button along. We
right,
just say, put the mark on it and let it go on like that. We don't force nobody. We don't hit a them at the head the Bible. We don't scare them. It's just basically, we just, by your testimony and by your light is how people get saved. People look at
right.
you and they get curious, like, why is she like that and why I'm not like that? Or what does she have that I don't? So that's something that it can be, explained. So
Still,
that when
still
they
here.
ask, okay. So
but, so I think too, what's going on in this nation is people
yeah,
are
and they're
looking
scared.
more.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're looking more towards God than they were before. I think
Yes.
certain things have happened that kind of shook us to say, wait a second, this is who we are.
Right.
And that's a really good thing. And there's more young people than we think that are actually thinking this way. We don't get to see all of them all the time because they're not, they're not exciting to watch. But I know they're out there, and yeah, it's a great thing, and I'm congratulations. I think you did a really great job. I think you're doing a really great job.
Yes, good. Now we've come to the part where I usually say the word of the day, but today I am going to give the reins to Mr. Hill. So, do you call yourself Pastor Hill or Mr. Hill?
No, just Brother Hill or
Brother
Dre.
Hill. Okay.
Yeah, or Dre.
All right. So I'm gonna give him, and I put him on the spot. So I just told him this like about 50 minutes ago, and so I went ahead and animated him to give because he has such a strong word that I wanted him to give the word of the day. So go ahead and take it away.
Okay. This is one of my favorite scriptures, Romans 8:28. And it says, "And we know that all things are working together for the good to them that love God and to those that are called according to his purpose." And the first four words on that scripture has made a difference in my life. Because usually I would say it like all things work together for the good, and then the rest of it. But the first four words is, "and we know that." And so if we don't know that, then when things happen that don't feel good or don't look good, we can't relate it to God is working, in the background. But when we know that this is working together for our good, then you know now we can give praise in all things, and because I used to wonder about that. I'm like, how can I give praise, about this happened? Don't feel good. It doesn't look good. But the key for me is I know now that this is working together. If God allowed it, then He's working it together for the good. Just like I would say, and then I'll be quiet.
You don't have to be quiet. Quiet. You're doing
Making a cake, you got the flour, you got the sugar, you got the butter, you got the heat, and all of those things by themselves, are not, they don't make sense, or they don't feel good or taste good. But when they start being put together, and then the heat, that's when the trials come, when the heat comes, but God is doing something, during that time. And so that's why I love that.
Oh, thank you for
I think
sharing. And that's the word of the day.
that's very apropos. I think for anybody who's doing small business or anything creative, it's we're not without our angst, are we? and we're in ourselves. We're doing all the machinations to get ourselves to make something, and sometimes you feel like you're out there in the wilderness. So that's a very cool thing to remember. So I like that one. Jeanette, we're gonna have to bring
She doesn't get impressed easy, so good job.
She doesn't give that up easily, Dre. So you did a good job.
Yeah, you did a great job. Well, it's been such a pleasure having you, Brother Hill, because not everybody knows. It's like, okay, here's a question for somebody. Somebody would ask, they say, how do I get started? Like, how do I get started? How do I do what you do? Like, how if I wanted to do a film, how do I get started? What would you tell them?
I would say the person that knows the journey is God, and I would, which I had to do is seek Him and just ask Him. I didn't want it to be like something just flipped off the page and said, okay, I guess I'll do this, but I wanted to make sure that this was Him doing that. So the relationship with the Lord is what has drawn me to that and what keeps me going. So that's, to me, that's the best. And if you have an interest in something, learn about it as much as you can, and don't be afraid to try. Fear is a big bully, and and so just try. But again, put God first. He will lead on what He wants us to do.
I always say, do it afraid. Because when
Yes.
you do it afraid, it happens, So we got to just go out there. It's like Jenny had this dream. The dream happened. So now we have to do it afraid to make it the reality of what she wants it to be. So basically, it's just doing it afraid. We have to take that chance. If we don't take chances, then we can't say, oh, I wanted to do that. Did you take a chance? Did you try? No. And then you can't say. You gotta give it an effort. You gotta try. You gotta put all into it too. Lord knows I've got my sweat in.
Right.
Well, everybody makes fear the main thing. And there isn't anything that we do that doesn't really involve some type of fear, because we don't know what's going to take us from this step to this step. You can walk a step of stairs and you're doing great, and on the next to last stair you trip and you fall, right? So you never know until you try it. And the fear should give you that ability to just, okay, I'm working through it. Be careful, don't go crazy. But fear makes you very heightened and aware, and you need to use that when you're doing something new, because that way you can really grab all the stuff that you're thinking, and when you're writing or when you're creating music, you don't know how it's going to come out at the end. You have it, you think you have it. But then all of a sudden you're in the middle and you're like, well, I'm going to tweak this a little bit, and I'm going to do this a little bit different way. And I think fear, if you do it right, the fear should not stop you. It should encourage you. It should push you to get to the end of where you want to be.
Yep. That's exactly right.
Yeah. I think if the enemy, the devil, that's his way of trying to discourage us. So if we know we're doing something that God wants us, then he's going to try to amplify that fear, and it's like,
we know that.
We got to get bold and courageous though, and say, in the name of Jesus, no, and we got to keep going and keep going. Well, we have come to that time, and I know Jenny hates it because it's that time. It's never enough time to be with somebody. But Brother Hill, we're gonna meet you in the backstage. We want to thank you for being with us today. Thank you for your time, and we will be looking forward to having maybe one of your movies show on our TV. That will be wonderful. And everybody, thank you for joining. Those who have joined and asked the questions and things like that, we thank you, and we'll be right back with next week again with another fascinating guest. And Jenny, you got anything to say?
No, just thanks everybody for being with us today. And we are having fun as always, and we are very, very happy to have Mr. Hill with us today. He shared an amazing story. And, if you're in any way can help him, please do.
Yes, I will get in contact with him. That would be so great.
Yep, and thank you on the show.
You're welcome, sir.
You're welcome. All right, people. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.